Hey guys, happy Friday. How are you doing today? Amanda Kendall coming to you today with our Finance Friday. So today we are going to talk about the fact that it's not how much you have in your business. It's not how much revenues you have. It's not how much profit you have. It is about what you do with it. I work with businesses from small to medium to large with revenues ranging from a few thousand a month to several $100,000 a month. And I will tell you, profit margins have no basis on the amount of money you're actually bringing into your business. It's what you are doing with it. Hey Jess, thanks for joining today. Glad to see you. So we are going to talk about the fact that it doesn't matter what you're bringing into your business. Yes, we always want to grow those revenues. We always want to be growing our profits. But to start, it's not how much you're bringing in. It's what you're doing with what you're bringing in and how you're being strategic around that is going to result in the business actually growing for you and being able to see that. You might know where I am, Jess. I'd like to see if you can guess. So when we're talking numbers in your business, I want you to understand that in order to be effective, change does not have to be drastic, but there has to be some change in how you're managing things. If your numbers are not matching up, if you're struggling financially, if you're just not hitting those profit margins and the numbers that you need to be hitting in your business, you don't have to make big, drastic, giant changes. You don't have to change everything across the board in your business, guys. You do have to make small changes, you have to be consistent with them, and you have to stick with them. And once you've implemented one or two, and you've grown from that, and you've seen those changes, now pick one or two more and implement those. You don't have to do everything at once. And I think that's what a lot of people think when they're talking numbers in their business, is we have to make this change, and this change, and this change, and this change, and da-da-da-da-da, down the list, we have to make all these changes, but you don't. Pick one or two things, the things that are gonna have the biggest impact, and make those changes and see how that changes, be consistent with them, do it for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, however long it takes for that to become a habit, and then add in the second ones. So let's talk about what we need to manage in our business in order to, Jess, you're correct, that is where I'm at. Let's talk about some of the things that you need to manage in your business that you can start small with, that you can grow, that you can adjust. And just these few things that if you implement them and you're consistent with them now, that it doesn't matter if your revenues are a few thousand or a few 100,000. These few things, pardon me, these few things are going to allow you to see immediate change in your business and the numbers and the growth. So first thing I want to talk about is being aware. So many people that I talk to don't have an awareness around the finance side of their business. They know what's coming in, they have a little bit of an idea what's going out, but they don't understand their profit margin, they don't understand their expense percentages and what they're spending and where they're spending it and why they're spending it. And I think that's our biggest thing that you need to do, is you need to be aware. You need to be aware of where is your revenue coming in from? What are the sources that you actually have money driving into your business from? Are you at a point where you're actually pricing for profits on those? Second thing you need to be aware of is where are you actually spending the money in your business? What do you have that you're spending money on that is growing your business? And what do you have that you're spending money on that isn't growing your business? It all boils down to the return on investment when it comes to expenses, guys. There are certain things that are necessary in your business. There's certain things that are beneficial. And then there's things, this is my favorite category, it's really fancy, that are neither of the above. So, when you look at your expenses, you need to understand, what do I have that's a necessary expense that I cannot change, whether it's giving me a return on investment or not? This may simply be that it's rent, overhead, utilities, things like this. Some of these things are adjustable. For example, many of you know, I literally just yesterday finalized the move to go completely remote in my office, and I am saving by eliminating the office and some of the other things that went with that. I've improved my bottom line almost $1,500 right off the top. One simple change, something I've been working towards for several years and putting everything in place to be able to get there, and it's saving me $1,500 a month on the low end. Some months it's gonna save me more depending on what utilities and everything boil down to for that month. So again, little changes, something that you move towards that becomes consistent for you. So looking at the necessary expenses and understanding that there's certain ones you have to keep, but there's some that you may deem necessary now, but you may be able to look at a way to eliminate those. Beneficial expenses should always have a return on investment for you. You should always be able to track, what is that expense bringing back to my business? How is that growing my business? How is this all coming in and benefiting my business? And know your return on investment. If you're spending $1 in advertising, you need to know what it has to bring back to your business to make it worth it. This may be $1.50, this may be $2. Maybe you're really ambitious and every dollar you spend in advertising needs to bring $5 back into your business. This is your choice, this has to be your number, but there has to be a return on investment. If $1 spent in advertising is bringing $1 back into your business, maybe the financial benefit isn't there, but is it getting your name out there? Is it going to grow? You have to be able to know these things and track these things. And there's people you can talk to that will help you with this. The neither of the above expenses. This really boils down. There are several people that are spending money in their business in categories that they don't even realize they're spending that much. Meals, coffee, lunches, stuff like that. I can almost guarantee you everybody who watches this video, if you go look at it, you may be surprised by the amount you're spending there. And I bet you a lot of that can be cut out of your business in the day-to-day activities. Another thing that I see a lot of people spending money on that they're not tracking and they're not seeing the benefits to their business is networking. Networking is necessary. It's how we thrive in business. It's how we get our name out there to people we wouldn't normally see and we wouldn't normally know. But you have to know what the reason for networking is. Who is it you're trying to connect with there? What is the purpose? Is it the topics that they cover that are going to grow your business? Is it the people that you're going to meet? Is it the speakers that they're going to bring in? What is the reason for that and what is the benefit of that going to be for you? So these are just a couple small changes that you can make there. One thing I want to talk about really quick before we wrap up here today is a couple things. You have to define your business based on possibilities. I see so many people define their business based on their current capabilities and they're putting a cap on it. And I've had this conversation with a few people lately, and I just want to wrap up with this today, that in order to grow your business, you can't necessarily look at these are my capabilities now. Because if you are an entrepreneur, I can guarantee you, you're reading, you're learning, you're growing your personal and business development every single day. You're always advancing and advancing farther from where you were yesterday. None of us are ever the same person today that we were yesterday, and we will not be the same person next week that we were last week, because we're all growing and we're all learning and we're all advancing with these things. But based on that, you have to define your business based on the possibilities. You have to dream a little bit, but it has to be a dream that you can map out a path to. A dream written down as a goal broken out into steps as an action plan, and that's how we get to our dreams. So I want to challenge you that as you're watching this video today and as we're wrapping up and you're getting ready to move on with your day and go do whatever your next thing that you're going to do today is, I want to challenge you to dream a little bit and figure out what those possibilities for your business are, and don't limit yourself based on your current capabilities. I want to read this quote that I got out of a John Maxwell book that I'm reading, and it says, "We tend to see things as we've always seen them. If we want to change something, we have to look at it differently." And so when you see something the same every day, it's hard to see how it could possibly be any different. But that is why we bring in our businesses, we bring in mentors and or other people, mentors, coaches, whatever that may be, people that are going to see things not from the box that you live in on a day-to-day basis, in the box you're in your business. When we are in it and our noses to the grind, we can't necessarily see things that somebody that comes in and sets up here is going to be able to see for us. And so I just want to challenge you, whatever the struggle is that you have in your business this week, this month, whatever it is, I want to challenge you to try and find someone out there that can actually help you see that from a different angle than what you've been seeing. I want to invite you guys, I mentioned this last week, I'm hosting a webinar coming up on July 16th, which is a Tuesday. It's going to be an hour-long webinar. You can sit in your pajamas. We're going to be on Zoom. You get to spend an hour with me, and we're going to specifically go over cash flow in your business. There are 4 things, and if you go back and watch my last 4 weeks of live videos from the previous month, you'll see there's 4 things that I truly believe when you have positive cash flow in your business that you need to focus on, and you need to focus on them in the order of the 4. And what that's going to do is it's going to grow your business. It's going to help you have a safety net in your business, some capital that you don't have to rely on a bank or credit cards or lenders or anybody else to fund your business if you hit a low spot in your business, because it's going to happen, guys. Business is not like this. It's very much like this, with some of this in the middle of it. It gets a little crazy. It's not a perfect slope up, and it's usually not a perfect slope down. It's definitely some ups and downs. So when you hit that down, you need to know that you have that capital in your business to bring you back up. And so you really need to focus on that. And so that is what the webinar is on, is it's going to be on the 4 cash flow drivers in your business. what order they go in, and we're gonna dive into detail in each of those 4. And so if you're interested in that, drop it in the comments or send me a private message. I've got an event out on my business page, Elevating Profits, so you can check it out there as well. Thank you guys for joining me on this Friday. I hope you have found this beneficial, and I will see you guys on here next Friday. Have a fabulous weekend, and have a happy and safe 4th of July, guys.